Among all the races in One Piece, the giants are particularly intriguing and mysterious. Hey guys, and welcome back where we discuss everything about One Piece and the world of anime. While most races have slight differences from typical humans, giants are unique due to their immense size. Interestingly, while animals near the long-armed tribe don't possess elongated arms, those in Elbaf's vicinity are enormous. This peculiarity is just one aspect of the huge mystery known as Elbaf. Now, today, our focus is on Elbaf. We'll explore the island's mysteries, its giants, and highlight essential points to remember. With the Elbaf arc approaching, I want everybody to be well informed. In chapter 1090, it was revealed that Elbaf will most likely be the next destination of the Straw Hats after they helped Vegapunk escape from Egghead. We were all surprised. I was surprised, and I honestly didn't see that coming. Now, just a side note here, if the Straw Hats should switch locations with the Kid Pirates according to the log post, then it will be very possible for the Kid Pirates to drift towards Egghead. By then, Kid might gather enough scrap metal for the repairs, and that is how he will fix himself. Elbaf is an island many anticipate played a pivotal role during the Void Century, especially in the conflict between the Ancient Kingdom and the 20 Nations. Oda emphasized on multiple occasions throughout the story that giants are one of the most relevant aspects of One Piece. Currently, we have no poneglyphs that talk about the giants and how they were involved in the war 900 years ago. But we can view things with a mirror called Luffy. Luffy is a big fan of giants, just like Usopp. Dory and Brogy taught Usopp and Luffy the meaning of courage and what it means to be a man. But it also seems to me that Luffy always loved to go against them and fight giants. Some deep instincts inside him pushes Luffy to fight against giants. Not in a hostile way, but to simply test his strength. I mean, beating a giant in a fight, right? Isn't that most kids' best dream? The same thing can be said about his fight against Hadrugen in the Colosseum. Well, he was mad over what happened to Uzi, but they became friends after their fight against the Don Quixote family, and Hadrugen became part of the Straw Hats' Grand Fleet. Fighting spirit, rivalry, and respect. I think these three words summarize Luffy's relationship with giants and vice versa. If we delve deep into this dynamic, we uncover a potential relationship between Elbaf and the Ancient Kingdom. Unlike good old friends like Wano and Fishman Island, Elbaf was probably a rival country of the Ancient Kingdom. Before Emu's ascent and the formation of the alliance against the Ancient Kingdom, Elbaf might have been a military adversary to the Ancient Kingdom. However, their military engagements didn't alter their distinct ways of life. The Ancient Kingdom was technologically superior, while the giants embraced a simpler existence. It could simply be a choice by Oda since he wanted to model Elbaf after Norse mythology, but we'll get back to this later. It might be true that they went to war against each other, but there was no hatred in those wars, and both sides respected each other. The Ancient Kingdom held Elbaf in such high regards that they entrusted them with the name of D, as evidenced by Jaguar D. Saul. We were all surprised to see a giant having a D in his name, but it didn't take us too long to realize why he deserves this. Saul was a Marine Vice Admiral and a close friend of Kuzan. When Nico Olivia was in prison, Saul spent some time talking with her, and she probably told him about the secrets of this world that she was aware of. Saul realized that he was working for an evil organization that killed and massacred millions of people in the past. The will of D inside him awakened, and he helped Olivia escape from prison. He ended up drifting to Ohara after fighting a battle against his fellow Marines. Saul spent some time with Robin and taught her all sorts of things, while also realizing that the people that the world government have been labeling as criminals and demons were innocent and peaceful. As Saul was planning to leave the island, the Marines and Cypherpole raided the island in search of Olivia and the scholars who were researching the poneglyphs. you all know how the rest plays out. I don't want to talk about the O'Hara incident and how it makes me sad, but the important thing to keep in mind is how Saul turned from a Marine with a strong sense of justice into an outlaw who protected the demons of O'Hara. Now, put a minus sign behind the sentence and everything makes sense. Saul had a long-lasting effect on Robin even after more than 20 years since the O'Hara incident. That is a Roger level feat. The ability to deeply influence people exists within the D family, and for a giant from Elbaf to have it, that says a lot about Elbaf. And Saul didn't even stop there. Even after being severely injured by Kuzan, him and his giant friends saved the books of O'Hara after the incident, and he continued to protect them in Elbaf. In other words, Saul has technically turned Elbaf into a new O'Hara library. Elbaf's role may even extend beyond this. Now, we are all speculating, including Shonen Jump, that the last missing Road Poneglyph is an Elbaf. In fact, it doesn't have to be there to understand how close Elbaf was to the Ancient Kingdom and why Queen Lily chose them protect a very important poneglyph. The Road Poneglyph that Big Mom has definitely belongs to Elbaf. I don't have any proof, right? But I'm pretty sure that she returned to Elbaf after the Rocks Pirates were dissolved and took it. It sounds weird that she obtained the Road Poneglyph before Roger, who literally knew everything about the Grand Line. Unless she saw the Road Poneglyph in Elbaf when she was a child, or when she started her piracy journey. You know, her true piracy journey, not as a lethal weapon used by Struzan. We are all aware of the strong connections between Elbaf and Norse mythology, and so it is very possible that some events or characters could be based on this. For instance, in Norse mythology, Ragnarok is described as a cataclysmic battle against the gods in the afterlife. While this myth encompasses various tales and narratives, its essence revolves around this climactic confrontation. Drawing a parallel to our story, this could mirror the ultimate showdown between our protagonists and the celestial dragons, with Emu at the helm. The theory that Elbaf will serve as the backdrop for this monumental war is widely recognized within the fandom, and I am confident many of you are familiar with it. However, I personally find two aspects of this theory problematic. Firstly, right, the upcoming Elbaf arc precedes the discovery of the One Piece on Laugh Tale. Oda wouldn't initiate a global conflict without first establishing a foundation for us, the readers naturally. This foundation encompasses the erased history, the identity of the former Joy Boy, and numerous other revelations. This presents a narrative challenge because unless our protagonists are at the very heart of this war, the progression of Oda's storytelling might be stymied. As of now, and even considering future arcs, I find it hard to envision Luffy embarking on a massive war against Emu without a compelling reason. While it is true that the world government stands as his adversary and he has indeed declared war against them, Luffy isn't one to abandon his goals and aspiration midway to engage in conflict. The only exceptions might be if he had someone to rescue like Ace, or if victory in this war directly paves the way to Laugh Tale. Now, I'll address the second concern shortly. Elbaf might also be the site where Treasure Tree Adam stands, as alluded by Oda in chapter 866. This theory has garnered support from numerous YouTubers and fans, including myself. It could be linked to Jotunheim, you know, the legendary abode of giants in Norse mythology. Furthermore, Elbaf's prince is named Loki, mirroring the god of mischief from Norse tales, marking yet another connection crafted by Oda. The pivotal question is whether Oda plans to incorporate these myths directly into his narrative, or if he merely aims to borrow thematic elements and terminologies. If he opts for the former, events might become foreseeable for those familiar with Norse mythology, which will be less than ideal. While he might integrate minor mythological components, I doubt he structured the entire Elbaf arc or any subsequent arcs involving giants solely around Norse legends. So now, let's ask ourselves the question that nobody dares to ask, fearing it might sound naive. But in One Piece, you really have to question everything. Literally everything. So here's the question. Why are giants, well, giants? I touched upon their uniqueness at the start of this video, and I'm circling back to it now. I recognize that Oda's creative flares result in characters of varying sizes. For example, right? Oden's sword should normally be the size of Zoro, and yet when Zoro holds Enma, it seems as if Oden was using a knife. Like, what? It's this level of absurdity that defines One Piece. But this doesn't mean that we shouldn't question the existence of giant fish around Elbaf, right? A fish that is standard size everywhere can be found gigantic near Elbaf. Now, the kid pirates might accept that as a given fact, but I won't. There are undoubtedly a profound and eerie secret about Elbaf. Either the island causes things to grow to colossal sizes, or the presence of the giants influences other creatures to enlarge. Consider this, right? How much regular sized fish will a giant need to consume in one sitting if this weren't the case? And then there's the enigma of Big Mom. Born to average sized parents, she was also akin to a mini giant when she arrived in Elbaf. How can such a drastic genetic variation occur? Does this have to do with the experiments done by the world government, on the lineage factor? Or does Elbaf's mysterious influence reach beyond its shores? Notably, Big Mom never grew to the stature of true giants like Dory or Brogy. And speaking of Dory and Brogy, I should mention that they were the captains of the giant warrior pirates more than 102 years ago. Their predecessors, Jarul and Jorul, led before them, but much of their crew met a tragic end. The few survivors were rescued by Mother Carmel, who, as it turns out, was an operative for the world government. Or, to be more precise, Mother Caramel was a human trafficker specializing in selling children from unique races to the world government. The formation of a pirate crew consisting of giants marked a significant shift in Elbaf's history. Giants, by pure nature, are proud warriors, often considering themselves the mightiest on the sea. In contrast, pirates are generally viewed as malevolent thieves ready to plunder and even kidnap. Now, I don't want you to finish this video and be left with an impression that giants are evil or something like that. They like fighting, and that's true, but they have honor and pride that doesn't allow them to become criminals. Although this might not be true in the meantime under Prince Loki's rule. So this is why a pirate crew made up of giants was an irregular thing. Of course, the world government didn't spare a single resource to use against the giant warrior pirates. Just imagine if they ignored them. They would have destroyed many islands and stood as the #1 pirate crew at that time. But Elbaf's story with the pirates is not over. About a decade ago, right? The red-haired pirates started making a big name for themselves, and Shanks was finally considered an emperor. One of the qualities, that lets people think of him in this way is controlling Elbaf. Elbaf was and still is his territory. Like, can you imagine that? The giants of Elbaf didn't trust Kaido, didn't trust Whitebeard, but they chose Shanks to protect them from the world government and other greedy pirates. Now, this is in fact the second issue that I have with the Ragnarok theory. Shanks would be reluctant to wage war against the world government alongside Luffy from Elbaf. We saw how much the citizens of Elbaf love him, and he seems to care about them. I can say that Elbaf is currently one of the most peaceful islands in the world. An uprising can start from Elbaf, considering what I've said about Elbaf and the ancient kingdom's relationship. But Shanks would absolutely prevent any war. He literally said that. Moreover, there's Loki, who looks like a tyrant who doesn't care about the world government or the guys who try to take him down. Now, while we can't entirely dismiss the Ragnarok theory, it's best to wait and see how events unfold. Now, let's address another intriguing question. Can giants utilize haki? It's peculiar that Oda hasn't confirmed whether giants can harness haki, especially considering Dory and Brogy's recent appearances. There are two primary hints suggesting that giants may be capable of using haki. Several giants have attained the rank of Vice Admiral in the Marines. Typically, this rank necessitates at least a basic mastery of observation and armament haki. However, it is possible that giants, given their inherent strength, are promoted based on their sheer power and experience rather than their haki proficiency. The prolonged duel between Dory and Brogy on Little Garden offers another clue. These legendary giants have been clashing for a century, yet their weapons remain unscathed. If they haven't replaced their weapons, the logical explanation is that they have imbued them with haki, right? Moreover, it will be very challenging for Oda to convincingly explain why giants can't harness haki. So for now, let's operate under the assumption that they can. But are we truly ready for the Elbaf arc? Not quite. There are certain elements that fans, including myself, eagerly anticipate. For me, the Elbaf arc wouldn't be complete without them. Topping my list is the reunion of Luffy and Shanks. While it may seem far-fetched, right? I believe that Luffy won't wait until he's crowned the Pirate King to meet Shanks. Once Luffy achieves that title, the world will be plunged into chaos, reminiscent of the war between the 20 nations and the Ancient Kingdom. Can we truly expect a serene moment for this eagerly anticipated reunion once the world is in turmoil? I really have my doubts. But let's not forget, the agreement between Luffy and Shanks was for Luffy to return the hat once he became a renowned pirate, not necessarily the Pirate King. As of now, Luffy holds the title of an emperor. Impressive, yes, but it doesn't necessarily mean he's met Shanks' criteria. However, the impending Egghead incident is set to be a game changer for Luffy and the Straw Hat crew. Consider the magnitude of their current challenge. They're up against the mightiest marine fleet we've ever witnessed. If they triumph over this obstacle, what more will Luffy need to do to earn the title of a great pirate? The situation could also pave a way for Oda to delve deep into Shanks' intentions and the mysteries surrounding the Figarland family. With Shanks in possession of some Road Poneglyphs, it's likely he will make a move against the Blackbeard pirates, especially as the Straw Hats grapple with the challenges at Egghead. The prospect of Luffy and Shanks' reunion is undeniably thrilling. Some might even label this as the pinnacle of Usopp's character arc, and I am inclined to agree. It's hard to find a One Piece enthusiast who isn't eager to see Usopp evolve into the valiant warrior of Elbaf. He's gleaned invaluable lessons from the giants, and many of them owe him a great debt. While I won't venture too deep into speculating about the specific events of the Elbaf arc or the trials the Straw Hats might face, one thing is certain. Usopp is on track to etch his name in the annals of giant folklore. Already revered as God Usopp and celebrated as the savior of the Tontada and Dressrosa, his legend is poised to grow even further in Elbaf. This is a significant leap from his contribution during the Onigashima raid. It might seem contradictory, but I anticipate a showdown between the Straw Hat Pirates and the Redhead Pirates, especially if the final Road Poneglyph they seek is located in Elbaf. However, Shanks might just hand it over to Luffy. Still, it will be intriguing to gauge the Straw Hat Pirates against what many consider the most formidable and well-rounded pirate crew in existence. Remember, not all confrontations in One Piece are marred by animosity. The skirmish between the Raja Pirates and the Whitebeard Pirates, which spanned 3 days and nights, culminated in a gift exchange. A similar scenario could unfold in Elbaf. Throughout our discussion on Elbaf and its impending arc, there is one thread I'd like you to hold on to: the significance of Alabasta, Fishman Island, Wano, and Elbaf. These 4 islands were the primary allies of the Ancient Kingdom. Each adventure on these islands has been a catalyst for monumental shifts in the narrative. Consequently, Elbaf might very well be the penultimate stop before the Straw Hats embark on their final voyage to Laugh Tale, setting the stage for the ultimate showdown. Now, before we wrap up, Don't forget to subscribe and drop a comment. So until next time, I'll see you there.